All right, so GST is literally a day away, and we just got our bracket release. As you may have heard, Pinky, Light A, and I will be commentating, so make sure to stay tuned for that. August 21st, 12 p.m. EST. Anyways, today I'm going to be going over the bracket and make my predictions on who will win it all. Let me just say this real quick. If I don't pick your team, don't start any personal drama. I promise you it's not that deep. This is just for fun. If you disagree, let me know in the comments below respectfully. Also, Pinky and I have a bet. If my bracket is more accurate in the end, he owes me 10k tro. And the opposite results if his is more accurate. Okay, enough talking. Let's get into it. All right, guys, let's get straight into it. I will mention that the first few series up until the semifinals are a single elimination, not a best of 3 or anything. It's best of 1. Anyways, let's look into our first matchup. We have Blackwater versus Zesper. And this is tough. Like this is really tough because both of these teams are so good. And I'm going to do myself, you guys a favor and keep my biased opinions outside of this. As many of you people know, I've been affiliated with Blackwater for a long time. I love all their members. They're so cool, super awesome. I'm going to put that to the side. Zesper, Barcode, they have a bunch of newer players. I think they're a team that really can be good. I think Blackwater has been to GST for a few years now. They have a lot of the same people, so they have that chemistry there, right? Zesper, very good players. I know they've added a few new players this time. It's nothing personal against Zesper, but I am going to pick Blackwater to move on against Unlucky. Zesper, however, they are a good team. They will go far. I just don't think this matchup against Blackwater's good for them. Up next, we have Flushy versus Canary. And this is another kind of interesting matchup. However, Flushy, GSL champions, very good GST team. We've seen them win it in the past. This team is good. Like, they are really good. They obliterated their opponents in GSL, the championship. So I think Flushy will take this against Canary. Canary is a good team, very skilled players. They just got unfortunate against their first round matchup against Flushy. I think Flushy will take it. And I think it will be pretty simple for Flushy. Once again, no disrespect to Canary, but Flushy's on a different level this year. So hopefully we'll see both of these teams do good. Next, for the first round, Embro versus Magorb. And this is kind of a toss-up because last year, I was super excited for the basing gangs to be put into GST because I thought they would add a different type of strategy, a different type of teamwork that would throw maybe some sparring gangs off. Well, that wasn't the case at all. In fact, basic gangs didn't do as good as I thought they would at all. The sparring gangs definitely showed that they know what they're doing. No discredit to Embro, but because of last year, I am going to pick Magorb. Magorb is a GST team. They've been there before. GSL team. They've been here. They are a team that haven't got the results they've wanted just yet. They're always filled with a very stacked roster, and I don't know if it's a chemistry thing or what, but they just haven't gone where they've wanted to. And that's not saying they won't. They could have a pop-off series this year. Who knows? I'm going to pick Magorb, though, against Embro. That's going to be... Yeah, I think Magorb's going to win that pretty easily. Up next, Presence versus Menace to Society. And Menace to Society is another one of those basing gangs. It's a toss-up. I don't think that Menace to Society could beat Presence. I would say M2S has a lot of skilled players, especially their leadership. They have a lot of skilled players. I know Presence is a pretty good sparring gang as well. You know what? I'm going to pick Menace to Society because in these types of tournaments, you can have the best teams in the world, but there's bound to be upsets. Like, stuff like that happens all the time. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna pick Menace to Society to move on to the next series. Okay, we're on to the second round. Unlucky versus Blackwater. This is a series I don't want to happen because I don't want to pick. Unlucky, the defending GST champions, did pretty good in GSL as well against Blackwater. I don't want to say it, but Unlucky, they can't be defending champs and go out in their first round. They are going to beat Blackwater, and I don't want to say it because, once again, huge shout out to the Blackwater boys. Unlucky's really good. They are very, very good. I think Unlucky will beat Blackwater in one game to move on to the semifinals. Once again, no discredit to Blackwater. Unlucky is just very, very good. Up next, Flushy versus Canax. And both of these teams, I would say this is probably the best second round matchup. I mean, the literal 5th and 4th seed. Flushy, once again, GSL champions. They've won it before. Canax is a team that is always in that top 4, I would feel like. Yeah, they're always in top 4. They put up good numbers. They have a very good team, very aggressive team. However, I got to pick Flushy. I have to, and here's why. I think watching their dominance in GSL and knowing what they can be, it kind of opened my eyes. I didn't think Flushy was going to... I thought they weren't going to be as good this year, but if they perform like they do, I think they'll beat Canax. Canax will unfortunately get taken out. So Flushy, in my opinion, will move on to play Unlucky in the semifinals. Let's move on down in the bracket. We have Dread versus Magorb. Dread, of course, we have Ishmael, we have M7. We have those people. That's a good team. Wow, that is a good team. Jeez. Against Magorb. And I already said my spiel about Magorb. Very good team. They just haven't pieced things together, haven't had the results they've wanted to in the past. I will say that I think Dread is going to take this against Magorb. I think that Magorb just isn't there yet. I think they can be, but I just don't think they're there yet. So I think Dread, M7, and Dread are going to move on to the semifinals. Up next, we have M2S, Menace to Society versus Raw. And I don't have a ton to say about this one. Raw, we have Vood, PowPK, all those people. That's going to be hard to beat. That's going to be very, very hard to beat. Menace to Society would need the perfect game against Raw to beat them. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying, in my opinion, I think Raw's got this. I think they are ready to make a redemption arc type of tournament, and I think they will move on to play Dread into the semifinals. Up next, semifinal time. This is where things turn into a best of 3. We have Unlucky versus Flushy, the 1st versus the 5th seed. That's a good matchup. That's a very good matchup. Unlucky, obviously, the defending champs. Flushy, obviously, defending GSL champs, which now means something. So, Flushy versus Unlucky, best of 3. Game number 1. I'm going to do game by game. I think Unlucky takes game 1. And I think they take it pretty easily, 8-0. Game number 2, I feel like Flushy takes it, but it's close. Really close. 2-0. Game number 3, and this is where things get tough, because I can hop on the Flushy train with their momentum, with all that they have. I can hop on that, or I can stick to statistics and back the defending champs up. And this is tough because Unlucky, you obviously have Nike, you have Xenon, you have Knuckles, and Flushy, you have Einun, you have Wings, you have King M95. That's a tough team. This is a really good matchup, and I am going to do the thing that not many people would do. I think game number 3, Flushy moves on. Oh gosh, I'm gonna probably get so much hate for that. I think Flushy's gonna beat Unlucky, and I don't really have a reason why. It's a feeling. I'm probably wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. I'm going to back Flushy on this one. I'm going to back Momentum. That's a toss-up. Any of those teams can go through. Anyways, let's move down to see who Flushy is going to face into the championship. You have Dread. You have Raw. M7. You have Vood. Pau PK. Ooh. That's a good matchup. Here's what I think. I think Raw is going to take this 2-0. But I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. I think every game Raw is going to win is going to be down to the wire. Like 1v1 potentials. I think these two teams are so evenly matched that it's going to be close. I am a fanboy of Vood and Pau PK. It's kind of hard to root against them. No disrespect to Dread. I think Dread's a good team, especially with M7, all that stuff. I'm going to back Raw on this. I think Raw goes back to the championship. But this year, Raw's not going to be facing Unlucky again, which would be cool for Raw to get redemption. But they're going to be playing Flushy. Flushy, a team that knocked them out in GSL. So there's still that rivalry. I'm not sure if this is a best of 7 or not. I can't remember if this is best of 7, best of 3. For the sake of this bracket and for the video, I'm going to do best of 7. Game number 1. I think Raw takes this. I think very, very easy, like 10-0. I think Raw, they have that championship experience. It's going to be hard to root against them. So I'm going to pick Raw for game number 1. Game number 2, I'm going to also pick Raw. I think this game's going to be a lot closer. I think it's going to be potentially 5-0 for Raw. Now, game number 3, a must-win for Flushy. They don't want to go down 3-0. Flushy does take this. And I think it is going to be very close, potentially. Really? Yeah, this is going to be 2-0. Game number 4, we're going to see Raw take it to take a 3-1 lead. And I think that'll be a pretty simple game for them as well. So, match point for Raw. They need to win this if they want to win the GST 2022 championship. Flushy need to win it if they want to, obviously, stay alive. And I think game number 5, Flushy does take it. And I think they take it very, very commandingly. Why does that not sound like a word? I think that Raw versus Flushy is such a good matchup. Raw versus anyone. I would even say anyone in this bracket should be in the championship. They're all so good. I'm going to pick for game number 6. Will Flushy make it game 7? Or will Raw take it? And I'm going to pick Raw. I think Raw takes the championship in 6. I think their last game, they win it 4 people left to 0 for Flushy. And that is my personal opinion. Let me say that one more time because a lot of people don't understand that. That is my opinion, what I believe. Just because this is what the bracket looks like for me doesn't mean it's scripted, doesn't mean it's going to happen. This, my friends, is the GST 2022 bracket prediction for myself. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to send it to the outro. Okay, guys, that will be my bracket for this year's GST. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure you stay tuned for GST August 21st at 12 p.m. EST. If you agree or disagree, let me know down below in the comments. Once again, respectfully, please. Also, this video is not that deep. Don't start any drama, please. If I didn't pick your team, it's not a big deal. This was just for fun. If you enjoyed, make sure to like the video, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for so much more content. Anyways, I will see you guys very, very soon. Peace.